Okay, are we ready to go then?
Huh?
Just waiting on you guys. Have you guys sent me those earlier? Just saying. I think I got it all down. I think we're good. Just I didn't screw this up. Let's see. Looks good. Alright, official, and welcome everyone to the Sword Coast. And this is a brand new campaign. We'll try again. Hopefully the reboot will work, and you guys will have fun. Obviously, I told you last time, it's not going to be an encounter-based as last time. Every single week we had an encounter. If you do, it's because, it happened at the time. I want this to be story-driven. I want it to be character-driven. That's what you guys wanted too, so I loved all the backgrounds, origins. I request that you guys post the stuff to our Facebook, so that if anybody else wants to read it, they can read it and see what the characters are about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read you an excerpt about Waterdeep to begin with, to give you guys a feel for the city, and then I'd like you guys to go through and give me character descriptions. And then we will get started with the adventure. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yay.
Perfect.
Uppers.
Okay.
Okay. Waterdeep. Waterdeep is the major cosmopolitan power of Faerun. It benefits from an excellent harbor, wise rule, a tolerant spirit, and a powerful magical tradition that generally produces stronger good wizards than evil wizards. Waterdeep contains at least one of nearly everything, but it's not a melting pot. Instead, it's like a gem grinder, smoothing individuals' rough edges so that their talents shine brighter. The city's nickname, the City of Splendors, is never said sarcastically. People know that Waterdeep is a marvel, and that life is better, or at least more bizarre there. If Waterdavians had one notable fault, it's a tendency to think that there's nothing new under the sun, and they treat the entire sum of human and non-human experience as their potential cultural heritage. This fault is not always a bad thing. The City of Splendors is undeniably a place where things happen, an important center of trade and change. Waterdavians merely accept this as a fact and never think on why or how it became so. The astute see that Waterdeep is a city of wealth, where the rich gather to trade, and in trading with others generate wealth with a swiftness unknown in backcountry Faerun. The coins are the fire under the cauldron. The cauldron itself and the spoons that stir it are the local powers locked in an endless struggle for supremacy, striving against each other in ways large and small. These are the guilds, nobles, trading costers, mercenary bands, city authorities, criminal organizations, individual citizens seeking daily sustenance, and newcomers seeking fortunes. Some folk find life in Waterdeep to be wine they can't stop drinking. Powers of all sorts, from cults and trade cabals to wizards' organizations and foreign rulers, find it expedient to have spies and even assassins active in Waterdeep at all times. Although the City of Splendors has plenty of room for anyone with coin to spend, it is also the place where every private moment may be seen or overheard by someone else. Many Waterdavians rent secret rooms or establish false identities to avoid their enemies' ears. Okay? Now, it's like, I can go into the history and stuff, but we're not going to go that far. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like you guys to give me your character descriptions, maybe a little bit of your personality. You guys as we established in the earlier email, um, know each other through the paths before. Vicky, Mark, you kind of grew up together. Um, Brad, you like stories and that sort of thing. So I'd like you guys to touch on that, but mainly we want to get a feel of what your character is. So Vicky, why don't we go ahead and start with you since you're first on the list there?
Okay. For description,
Yes, please.
she is fairly tall, actually, for probably most girls that we make at 5'7", and which makes her taller than her best friend slash little brother, Locke, and her other friend, Emmy, that she tends to spend a lot of time with. But she's really protective, so that kind of works for her. It makes her feel like she can keep them from coming to harm. Uh, Her name is Raven, and she's actually named for the color of her hair, which is, it's like the really dark, deep black of, like a raven wing. It's long and comes down to the middle of her back. She likes to style it in different ways and is always kind of like fiddling with it. So every so often you'll see like a different weird hairstyle or something. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But she embraces them all because that's the way she is. Um, she has gray eyes. They're like a darker gray, like the color of like a coming storm. And her skin's a little pale, but not too bad. I mean, she's kind of tends to run around a lot at night, so. Um, she is a monk, but she kind of doesn't really follow the exact tradition of them, and prefers kind of her own way. She likes to be unique and express that on her own. So while she has a lot of the abilities that she's been trained for, she hasn't quite embraced their lifestyle. Um, for clothing, she used to wear like this kind of raggedy sort of outfit that she had put together from scraps, but recently her friend Emmy decided that that was not going to do and sort of argued her way into buying her a birthday present, which included a new outfit. Um, so she's wearing, it's basically like a shirt, cream colored shirt and skirt with sleeveless with a corset in a similar material in brown, and she pulls kind of the skirt up in the front to let her legs free because she is a monk. She needs kind of freedom of movement, and she has stockings that come up, high over her knee, and then she wears some brown leather boots. They're pretty worn, but they're comfortable. She likes them. And on her wrist, on her left wrist, she wears like looks like just a bit of like a leather thong or something that she just kind of wrapped around her arm a bit and tied off. And that's kind of her only real adornment. She doesn't have money for jewelry and things like that, so she doesn't really wear any. The nicest thing she has is basically her clothes right now because they're fairly new. So, other than that, she doesn't always carry around much. She likes to keep things light, but if she ever is seen with a weapon, it's usually a quarterstaff. Other than that, you've learned fairly quickly she kind of likes to take care of her things with her fists and seems to take care of herself very well doing that. Occasionally, you might see her with a musical instrument, although it's kind of rare. She takes very good care of it, and because it actually is the only thing she has from her parents, and it's actually a charm, which is looks sort of like a recorder, but it instead of the mouthpiece on the top, it's actually a small reeded bit. So, and it is a higher tone than a recorder does. So I think that was it. Did I get everything?
Cool.
Good job. Ember, you're up next.
Okay. She is actually pretty petite at 5'2". She's got the dark, almost black hair, and very light blue eyes. She doesn't really open up to many people, but she's fairly friendly for the most part. You either see her, you don't see her in her armor a lot around town. Of course, most people probably don't see her that much unless she's with her friends. She does have a very, very nice set of half plate armor that is kind of individually made so that it's got a flare to it and some blue in it that kind of matches her eyes. But she also, when she's just out and about down there, you more often than not see her just in black leather pants and a corset top and jacket and things like that, just so that she doesn't stand out as much among everybody. She normally has two scimitars with her that are also very nicely made. I don't know really. She plays games a lot. She likes games. She's always got cards or dice on her. And she loves to watch duels. She's either hanging out with Raven or Locke, who she became fast friends with, or she and Talon are sneaking off to go watch duels in one part of the city or the next, and trying to pick up ideas and ways to get better for themselves. She's very educated, but she doesn't really. The only time you ever really know that is if she's talking to the dwarf. Not much is known about her. You just obviously know she's comes from some sort of money.
She
I don't really
probably,
know.
not to add anything, but you probably have a more of an aristocratic accent to your voice as compared to, say,
Yes.
Locke and Raven, who have more of a
Yes.
Cockney accent.
No, that's a good way to say it. Yes. Definitely would. You almost always see her either with Raven or Locke or Talon, especially if she's out in those areas. She doesn't go down there a whole lot. She's really close to one of her brothers. She's the youngest of 5 kids, and she's the only girl. So, I really don't know what else to say right now.
Okay, that's good enough. Modwin, you're up next.
Okay, so her name is pronounced Moldwin, and she's
It's never how I
60 years.
pronounce it. Sorry, go ahead.
She's 60 years old, and basically she grew up in a very, sheltered and structured life as an acolyte in the Temple of Moradin. That was also taught, how to fight and all her dwarven, heritage and stuff. When she was nearing adulthood, one day she was, kind of exploring the library and discovered a very ancient scroll that had sort of been set aside into just sort of a bin of old stuff, and she started translating it and looking at it, and she found it very interesting, but when she showed it to her teachers, they didn't really approve. But she would like keep sneaking back to the library and looking at it and translating it. And then when she turned 50, she that was kind of a time in her clan where you sort of declare sort of some goals you have for your adult life, and she said she wanted to see if she could, study this text and maybe reinstate it back into like their holy scripts if she could find out if it was valid, and that caused a bit of a. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're looking for just character description and a little bit about your personality.
Okay.
You
Sorry.
can always write out your history and post it to the Facebook.
Okay. So, she's 4 feet tall, 150 pounds. Her eyes are very deep blue, like kind of un unusually like dark, like almost like the color of, I don't know, like just dark blue eyes. Very and her hair is a light brown, as is her beard, and her beard is very long and thick, but instead of being like coarse and bushy, it's the hair is very soft. And she always keeps her hair and beard very clean, like, washed and scrubbed with soap, and very thoroughly brushed with some elaborate braiding in it. And her beard always, unless like she's just been busy working a lot, her beard smells faintly of oranges and cloves. You suspect that maybe she dabs a little bit of perfume on it, but she never mentions that. But other than that, she's very plainly dressed. She basically has two outfits. She has a set of priestly vestments, which she'll wear when maybe she does like a wedding or a funeral for someone in town, or uh, maybe goes to give tithes to the temple, or sometimes when she's teaching talent or something like that. But then she also has a very oh yeah, by the way, who is the goddess Tamora? I was gonna look that up, but I didn't have time.
Goddess of luck, coin.
As long as she's not like a really evil goddess, I don't think Modwin would disapprove that much. Well, anyways, her other outfit is basically like a commoner's outfit, and she wears that when she's gonna go like visit, and help the poor and stuff, where she might, get dirty a little bit, or when she's just like not feeling formal. And she also has chainmail, and you've seen her wear that, and sometimes like she has a warhammer, so she doesn't like get to join in the sparring fun, but sometimes like if she's hanging out like and Talon, so does she like know, so she knows everybody, right? I mean, she mostly knows Talon
Yes.
and the Oakley, but okay, so like sometimes she might like get like a coconut or something and put it on a post and show off how she can break it or something. So you've seen her like show you some drills and stuff. She can't really drill with you. And let's see, her skin is kind of a tan color, like a light, like not brown, but like a kind of like the color of, I don't know, like a very like tan, like, yeah. And she's got a warhammer, two javelins, and a dagger. And so occasionally, when you guys are hanging out in the tavern together, especially if the young ones are all kind of doing their own thing, you'll see her kind of furtively take out an old scroll and some pieces of parchment and study over it and make some marks with chalk. But whenever you ask her what she's doing, she's kind of secretive about it.
Cool.
And she's got a amulet of Moradin around her neck, which is a symbol of a hammer and anvil. And she always yeah, well, you'll find out about her personality, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And she has a wooden shield.
Good job. Locke, you're up next.
Okay, Locke is a human. He's probably the baby of the group, sitting at about 15 years old. He's shorter than his adopted sister. He's 5'4", 5'5", 130 pounds or so. Locke is small of frame due to his age, but he's quick on his feet. He is often dirty due to his professional choice in life. But after work, he typically goes to the harbor to bathe in the seawater, so typically when he comes into the drowned rat, he looks like a drowned rat. His thick, dirty blonde hair is wavy and unkempt. His blue eyes are bright, and he's typically smiling and happy. His clothes are poor and threadbare. Faded woolen trousers rolled up and tied, a rough-spun tunic of coarse fabric, and crude sandals. Everything he owns is poor and of poor quality. He carries two knives of different styles, each again found below the street level. Although the blades have been cleaned and sharpened and taken care of since they've been in his possession, the pitted iron has seen better days. His prized possessions are a pair of black wooden hand crossbows that also were found in the sewers. These you've probably never seen unless you've gone hunting with him underneath, and Raven has probably seen them. They do have some carvings on them, which he's never been able to decipher, nor does he want to. He has minimal other possessions, a sleeping blanket that he typically wraps around him to look like a backpack, piecemeal mess kit, patched water skin, some cordage. But usually anything he finds, he's pawning, he's selling, he's trying to make money for his family. He's obviously poor, but he believes in taking care of his loved ones and always puts their needs ahead of his own, and he does so with honesty and integrity. What you see is what you get with him. I mean, he doesn't have a set of armor. He doesn't have anything that he doesn't bring around. Everything that he values in his life, he carries with him.
Awesome. Oakley, you're up next.
Oakley Badgertail is a plain gnome. Years of growing up in the forest has darkened his skin. His brown hair is kept short, if not shaven. His thick, bushy eyebrows and Roman nose hides his chestnut brown eyes. Tall and thin for a gnome, he has a very wiry build, good for getting in and out of tight spaces. His clothes are plain but well maintained. You would be hard-pressed to find a tear or rip in his clothes, considering that all the time he spends outside. This is an amazing feat. The only hint that Oakley is a user of magic is the component belt that he wears around his waist. The smells of nature surround him in a pleasant way most of the time. You might smell mint, evergreen, or even pine. Mind you, if the job calls for a little foul odor, Oakley does not mind the smell. All of nature is beautiful to all senses. Only two things that stand out in his everyday wear is his necklace with a wooden charm in the center. The charm is in the shape of a badger face with a stem coming off the bottom and circling around the face. This is his family crest. The second is a wooden bracelet around his wrist. Nothing's engraved on this bracelet. It's just a simple, well-polished circle of wood. When relaxing or resting, you will find a pipe in his mouth. The pipe has a symbol of fire, plant, and wind inscribed around the bowl. There has been known to be many different smells coming from that pipe, which he more than happily will share with his friends.
Good job. Talon, your last up.
Hold on, I got one just a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Oakley tries not to be rattled by things, but that can be hard pressed considering he's one of the smaller humanoids, and is commonly picked on by larger, less thinking creatures. He tries to think of the bigger picture when coming out of a task or action. Not the biggest talker, he is more of a listener and a counselor, spreading the lessons of nature through the tales and myths that were passed down to him. Like a good droid, he is always looking for a balance in life. Things have been very calm lately, but you never know when the winds will change. Nature will always provide for you, as you should always provide for it. It's a circle that should not be broken.
The circle of life.
It's so Lion King.
Oh, and he uses a mace and a sling. And he wears hide armor.
Good job. All right, Talon, now you're up.
Actually, Talon coming in at the youngest at 14. He has long flowing black hair, very thick, clear blue eyes. Tan skin, a little bit weathered. You can tell he's been on the ocean for quite a bit of time. Always very respectful and kind. He has a gleam in his eye. He carries 2 scimitars with him, a buckler and daggers and a longbow. He frequently is dressed in not necessarily great clothes, but not bad clothes. And he has on occasion donned a leather armor made not from the traditional leather, but looks like from some sort of sea creature. He has high, hard boots that come up past his knees. He has leather top that cuts off at the arms with vambraces. And he is often seen jumping and running about the streets from duel to duel. He is supposed to be in class most of the time, but he does cut class on occasion. Well, let's be honest, he goes to class on an occasion. He's always, like I said, very respectful to everybody he meets, and meets the world with a wide-eyed wonderment, and thinks everything is an adventure, and that one day he'll be back at sea and doing what he does best, which is sailing to far-off lands and exploring new places. That's it.
All right, good job, people. Okay, and as I touched on before, you guys all know each other. You're either friends or acquaintances. The place that you guys frequent the most is a ramshackle type tavern called the Drowned Rat. It's in the Docks district, so it's in the poorer side of town. Not too far away from where Locke and Raven, where you guys live. Oakley, you spend most of your time when you come into the city. You spend most of your time in the markets, trading and that sort of thing. But you like to come here and help with the people as well as modeling, helping with the poor and tending to small gardens and whatnot, helping sick people, and you've gotten to build a reputation of trust around this place. This is the kind of bar where everybody knows each other. So anyone coming in that's new is looked upon with absolute suspicion. Most conversations turn from a roar into very whispered conversations here and there, trying to keep it out of the ears of any eavesdroppers. Everybody tries their best to make the newcomer as uncomfortable as possible until they leave, and then life goes back to where they were. The bartender's name is Lunjan. He is a typical bartender. He's not the owner of the bar. He just tends bar here. He is a human. He's in his late 40s, early 50s. He's a bit overweight, losing his hair. He's got a nice beard. He's always good for a laugh. He's very. He seems to be able to come up with a new joke almost daily. Unfortunately for you guys, it's not a new joke, but to him it seems like a new one. He seems to have taken a couple blows to the head, and maybe he's forgotten. He's lost his short-term memory, and sometimes he tells the same joke 2 or 3 times, thinking that you guys have never heard it before. You guys, he's family, so you humor him, and he gets a kick out of it. There are 2 serving wenches. One is Camilla. Camilla is the adoptive mother of Talon. When Talon was found, he was brought in, and Camilla took him in. So Talon actually lives here on the second floor of the Drowned Rat. The other is Camilla. I'm sorry, Camilla is also a human. She is early 40s. She's a little bit chubby. Her face has not aged well, but she does try to carry herself with some sort of dignity and a type of charm. She's got a very nice melodic voice that most people find appealing, and again, since everybody knows each other, she's almost like family as well. The other serving wench is Arabelle. She's a half-elf. She's a bit younger. She is the focus of most young men's attentions, as she uses it to her advantage and cleans up pretty much every single night. She's very slender build. She's about 5'3". She speaks with a strange foreign accent that is a going bet. People are betting where she comes from, and she has not revealed it to anyone where she comes from originally. People keep trying to guess, and there's been a pot right now. The pot stands at about 50 gold pieces, about who can name where she comes from. You guys have never seen her with anyone as far as romantic-wise, but she does flirt with pretty much every male that comes in or that is around here. She's very friendly, and she has also a light, almost whispery voice. When she laughs, it's like tinkling bells, which Lengen is completely head over heels for her, so he's constantly telling her jokes, and she humors him by laughing at each and every one, even if she's heard it 1,000 times. Okay, as we begin, Raven, Oakley, Modwin, Talon, and Ember, you guys are at the bar at the Drowned Rat in your usual spots. Langen is busy prepping some dinner for a few people that have come in. He's got that. He's listening, half listening to conversation. He's not really in it unless you ask him a direct question. He's more getting everything ready, the drinks and the food and that sort of thing. There is a bard, well, not really a bard, but a couple musicians that are playing live music, and that's usually every night. Not necessarily they're getting paid for it, but a few people will just take up the instruments that are perpetually on a stage off in the corner. It has a storm has moved in rather quickly today. It's kind of put a downer to the day because it was quite beautiful until this storm moved in, and now it's heavy rains and thunderstorm, and it's kind of like a dreary, like, ugh, I have to stay inside. You know, some of you are going home to places where you know there's a leaky ceiling, and you're going to have to deal with that. Maybe it's leaked on your bed, and you'll have to sleep on the floor and that sort of thing. Most people are complaining about the weather. You know, some people are blaming wizards for it. Some people are blaming too many ships coming in and bringing the bad weather. The sail, they call it the sail gale, that brings in the storms and that sort of thing. It's not necessarily dangerous, but it is a thunderstorm, so sometimes the thunder cracks get a little bit loud. Raven, you know that Locke, with what he does, his job can get dangerous when there's storms like this, as the waters tend to rise in the sewers rather quickly. And hang on, let me get my sound effects going.
Is Locke with us now?
Who's done that?
He is not there yet. You guys are expecting him any moment.
So I'm pretty much kind of like, enjoying myself, but I keep watching the door.
He'll be here. Lots of rats.
Maybe he ran into a monster or something. He should come in and tell us about it. That'd be cool.
You really think there's real monsters down there?
I've heard stories. It's gotta be true.
I can barely hear Brad.
Yeah, Brad, go to your cog and just turn the music, your little overall volume down as much as possible. Unfortunately, my background sound is going to mess with it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
That's better.
Just 'cause He tells you all sorts of stories, doesn't mean that they're true.
Well, no, but at least one of those stories got to be true.
Well, why don't you go down there with him one day? See if he'll do it.
He won't take me. I want to. Carmela told him he couldn't. But what she doesn't know is I've heard it.
Exactly.
I still can hardly hear whoever's talking. Is that Brad?
Yes.
I'll have to turn this on.
I had like, oh, here we go.
There we go.
Is this better, guys? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Very much.
There we go.
Okay.
It's all black.
Okay, you guys are sitting there having a discussion and whatnot. Locke, you finally reach the doors. You open them to the familiar smells and sounds and dry warmth of the drowned rat. As you look over, you can see the half-orc bouncer Krognar. He looks at you and nods, gives you a half smile, and goes back to just watching the place.
I make my way in. I am completely soaked. I'm still wearing my pot helm, which is like a hardened leather cap with a brim and a candle that's mounted on the front. The candle has been obviously extinguished due to the water outside. I look around. I see you guys. My eyes get wide, and I make my way over. There's something obviously bothering me as I sit down and I just look at you all with wide eyes.
I think he found a monster.
I give him.
Talon.
I go to give him a hug, but then I stop because he's all wet, and I go, "Hey, what's wrong?"
I'm not only wet, I'm still covered with sewer water too, which is very unusual for me. I usually bathe up before I come.
I
You guys
smell.
can see that, again, the drowned rat is actually, it's pretty crowded tonight. Most of the tables are taken as the rain has driven people indoors. The smells, again, are much better in here than outside, as Lungen has been moving food out. There is a kitchen where there's two cooks that usually work. You rarely ever see them, so you've never really got to know them at all. Okay, go ahead.
You smell funny.
Hey, Locke.
You brought the sewer back with you?
Oh, I had to work some overtime tonight, Joffrey. He got filth fever, just like a bunch of others, so was short-handed. So I was over in this new section of sewer that I usually don't go to, and I see something that just, it wasn't right.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Was it a monster?
I lean in. I guess you could call it that. True fright in my eyes. Usually when I tell you guys stories, I'm embellishing, but you can clearly see on my face that something seriously shook me up.
I elbow Ember. I told you they were true. What did it look like?
I don't know, the best thing I can describe it. It was some kind of damn ghost. I turned this corner, and there was a flash of lightning, and in front of me was a young guy, kind of like Raven's age. You know, a little bit older than us, but half his face looked like it was blown off or bitten off, or all I could see was skull. And I could see right through him, and I just stopped talking, and I just looked down at my feet.
At this point, Lengen eyes you up and down. He's got surprise on his face and his bushy eyebrows rise up, he immediately reaches under the bar and pulls out a bottle and a shot glass, and puts it in front of you.
Yeah, at this point, did you have your candle still on? Because maybe if not, you missed what you saw.
Yeah, the candle. As I nod a thank you to Lengen, the candle was on, and it pointed to a wall behind me, and then there was a big flash of light, and everything went dark. My candle went out, and I frantically got it back on, and it was gone. And you know what? I got the hell out of there, guys.
I ruffle his hair and say, "Good job," because yeah. Should we check it out for you then?
Not much down there scares me, guys, but this room really hit a nerve.
Would you like a puff of my pipe? Calm you down there, little boy.
No, thank you. This shot will do it nice. As I down it,
Hey,
and I make a bitter beer face.
Well, if there's really a monster out there like that, shouldn't we like tell the city guard or something? Because couldn't there be more and they come up and...
no, we can take care of it. Our swords.
Look, you sure you aren't seeing shadows?
He saw a monster. Don't question him.
I don't know what I saw, guys. I don't know.
Well, you know, it's an old city. An old city with an old sewer. Well, you never know what's down there. Rats, sure, garbage, maybe the vagrant or thief, but, well, there's older things too, so I've heard.
I knew it. I knew it.
Well, we could always go check it out, and if we need to, like, take care of it ourselves, or if not, then we point the guards in the right direction afterwards.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, can get lots of food, please? I'll pay for it.
Thank you, Talon. Thank you.
Anything, buddy.
Now, Locke, it's not wise to go back into the sewer tonight with all this rain. When you were out of there, you guys would be swimming in there, so you're going to need to wait until the storm has passed before you can go back in. Probably won't be until, like I said, tomorrow sometime.
The section I was in was flooding. I don't think you guys want to go in there tonight.
Well, you know what?
Well, you know that.
I'll look around and see where Carmela is.
She's behind you guys. She's talking to some patrons.
Let's go in there tomorrow, Locke. Do you think you can show us where?
Whoa. Seriously? Yikes.
That's her.
Yep, that's Camilla.
So that's Talon Squeeze?
No, that's his mother. His
adopted mother.
It's who I stay with when I come into the port.
Gotcha. What was the question? I'm sorry. Picture guy.
And there's Arabelle.
Do you think you can show us around?
Yeah, I know those sewers pretty good. I know exactly where I was and where it was pointing.
Also, do you know where any duels are happening?
Not on this night.
Yeah, even the knights aren't doing their normal thing tonight.
Well, not tonight, but anything coming up? You guys hear anything?
I can ask.
Now, Talon, there is more to life than duels.
What? Don't listen to him, Talon.
Did you get to your studies day?
Oh, wait, I think I see something.
Shh, don't mention studies.
I didn't see the lad all day. I hoped he wasn't sick, but I knew better.
Oh, don't worry. We worked on his Dwarven, so he can talk Dwarven with you later. Maybe. He's not very good at it.
Well, that's something. But to get the proper accent, he should really learn it from me. Although your accent isn't bad, lass.
Alright, so we were talking about the sewers and the ghost. Tell us more, Locke.
And your lessons, lad.
I
Try
just
and make it some of the time.
sipping on the beer. I don't know what more to say.
Lengen walks over, says, "You know, if you go around here talking about ghosts, you might attract some attention. You might want to keep your voices down just a bit." He winks at you, smiles, and then goes back to what he was doing.
I'm sure it's more than just a ghost. I'm sure it was just a reflection or something. Let's not get too hasty.
In the sewers, a reflection? Really?
How can you reflect when there's no light?
Well, there had to be light if you saw the ghost.
You need light for a reflection?
From a candle? That's not enough. It's not like the sunlight or something. Or even the moon.
From what you described, lad, could have just been an old corpse that got washed in by the storm.
And it got up and started walking and talking.
Right, an old corpse standing up, pointing, looking like half its face has been blown off. I know what I seen, guys. I know what I seen. I ain't never lied to no one. It's not my way.
Okay, well, we don't think you're lying. If you wish, we will go check it out with you tomorrow. We are your friends, and we owe you that much.
You mean you're gonna go with us?
Why, yes, I could. I do need some mosses. But I do think this, and maybe we can find some down there while I'm down there. Plus, you never know what else you might find. People do throw away things that could be of value to somebody else.
Raven, you believe me, don't you?
Of course.
I
believe
believe
you.
you.
Well, you know, in these 6 years, I've never seen a corpse stand on its feet. Might be interesting.
Interesting. Did she really just use the word interesting?
She uses those big words a lot. Or he. Or she. I'm not sure.
Okay, any intents? What are you guys doing? Tonight?
I just want to get Locke some warm food and make him tell the story like 5 or 6 more times.
Okay.
Because I was right, there's monsters in the sewers. Locke, I've asked you this like every time you come back. I also ask you if you've heard of any ghouls every time you come in.
And I get Raven to help me, like, she's been teaching me how to dance. It's not the, typical perfect little classy aristocracy way.
Okay.
Hey Mitch, I'm also going to walk off for a minute, go upstairs and get a blanket and bring it back down to Locke.
Okay.
Here you go, bud. This will keep you a little bit warmer.
As my teeth are chattering, I curl it around my body and kind of slump in my chair a little bit. Thank you.
Why don't we move you over by the... Is there a fireplace in here, Mitch?
Yes.
Why don't we move you over by the fireplace? Get warmer.
Scroll over to see it.
There's a dwarf. Maybe we can hook up that dwarf with Modwin.
Let's do it.
Firelights for scary stories.
Oh, excuse me. I have to go, use the ladies. Yeah, that's it. I get up and run over to the dwarf. I grab Emmy as I go. Emmy needs to come with me. It's a girl thing.
Yeah, definite girl thing.
Okay.
You think Locke's okay?
Don't mistake me, lad. I don't believe you.
Oh,
I just think, well, you know, I believe you saw what you saw, but we just don't know for sure what it is. But I'll come with you if you like, if you let me. I'd like to see if we can sort this out. 'Cause like I said, you know, when there's old sewers in an old city, well, sometimes you find strange things down there.
Yeah, we'll all go see what it is tomorrow. I knows what I seen though, and I could see right through it. I could see the wall behind it. Craziest thing I've ever seen there. As he slowly rocks back and forth.
Oh, now that's the part you didn't say before. No wonder you thought it was. I was thinking maybe you just saw an old corpse with its feet stuck in the mud. So which part of it could you see through? The face with half of it blown off? Or the face that was still there?
I could see through its whole body. As I said, it was some kind of ghost, some kind of apparition.
Well, that's passing strange, lad.
Hey, Raven.
Yeah?
Ask the dwarf maybe if he thinks Modwin's cute. The
We're
dwarf
totally
with the
doing
beard.
that. Where's the dwarf?
I got
I
like
think he's near
3
the
of them
fireplace.
in there.
Yeah, there's one near the fireplace and there's one near the piano, and I don't know where the other one.
Okay. I know we just started. We're going to take our first break and then come back in 5 minutes. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I messaged you, Vicky.
I see that.
Trying a new scotch tonight.